Hi, I am Jade April, an educator from the Philippines, and welcome to our Microsoft OneNote tutorial. OneNote is our very own digital notebook. We can quickly capture important information and ideas through images, videos, and audio recording, as well as ink and voice. We can share ideas or create ideas together in OneNote. These are the things that we can do using Microsoft OneNote. We can type notes or record audio at your laptop. You can sketch or write ideas through your tablet. We can add pictures using your phone if you have the Microsoft OneNote app. You could find notes instantly. You can freely move notes around the pages. You can also organize those pages into sections. And you can keep your sections in one or more notebooks. And the most important is we can share notebooks with others so we can all view and contribute at the same time. We can use OneNote in any of these devices. You can have it on your laptop, on your tablet, and on your phone. Everything gets synchronized once you connect to the internet. Let's have the anatomy of OneNote. First off, we have the ribbon, which is here on top. Then the name of our notebook, which is My Lesson Plans. Then underneath, we have our sections. So our sections are namely science, history, and math. Then on the other side, we have our pages. Solar system, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Earth are the pages under Science. Now let's go to our demonstration. We're going to create a notebook in OneNote. We're going to insert sections and we're going to insert pages. Microsoft Office OneNote. And I have two OneNotes here. I have OneNote which is dedicated from my Microsoft 365 subscription. It's a default under Microsoft 365. And I have another one here, OneNote for Windows 10. This comes to all Windows 10 operating system. So if you are under Windows 10, so you have this. So we're going to use it one for the tutorial. We're going to click that. And it will lead us to a OneNote. So as you can see, I made a practice school collaboration, but we're not going to use that. I'm going to click the drop down arrow and I'm going to click add notebook. And we are going to make a notebook from scratch. So we're going to name that School Collaboration. The School Collaboration Handbook. And we're going to put ASEF. So I'm just going to use my school account and we're going to click create notebook. So for this part, we're going to add section, add pages, and how to do a lot of things when we do sectioning and pages. All right, so we have now our notebook. So what we're going to do is we are going to add some sections. And the sections that we're going to add are the chapters that have been assigned or we have chosen. So we're going to rename the first section. And I think the first chapter is marking and grading or marking grading. So marking grading in an online environment. So forgive me if I cannot write them all here, the correct ones, but at least we have the basic or the familiarity on how to make the handbook using Microsoft OneNote. And then another section, because we have another chapter, so we have preventing plagiarism. And we just click anywhere. Then let's add motivating students for online learning. And we just click it anywhere. So what else do we have? So let me check. So let me remember first. Introducing non-tech savvy. What's that? Introducing non-tech savvy teachers. or non-tech savvy colleagues to technology. I hope I got that right. So let me just correct the spelling. I'm sorry for that. So I'm just going to right click, I'm going to rename, and I'm just going back to colleagues. Oh, that was correct. Have I forgotten something? So let me check first. Low-tech alternatives. That is for students who does not have any access to technology. And I saw one time that we also have another suggestion for STEM teachers. So I just thought of adding that here. And so that's it. We already have our section. Now let's go to the pages. So each section can have as many pages as we want since we are grouped together. So let's start first with marking and grading in an online environment. So we'll go here and then let's try to see what could be the possible things that we could talk about here in marking and grading. So I'm thinking about online forums. So this, well, and each group could think about anything, but this is it, online forums. And when you put the title there, and it goes here, okay? Well, if we add section, add pages, there are also things that we can do on each section in its page. So let's go back first to marking and grading, which is our section, or which is our chapter 1. We right-click that, and you could delete the section, you could do a rename, you could move or copy it, or we could add a section color. It depends on the group, so you could change it to red, or you could change it to the color that is preferred by the group. So for this, because we have two reds already, what if we choose lemon lime? All right, so that's it. And let's go to our page. Our first page under marking and grading is online form. I'm going to right click that, and there are things that we can actually do under this page. We could delete it, but we don't want to delete that. We could rename the page, we could copy, paste. We could actually move or copy this one to another page or another section. Or we could copy link to the page, which actually I could copy this link and send it to you. And we could translate the page to a language that we want to. All right. By the way, I went back to add section, and there is something here that says password protection. Okay, so this is kind of a tricky in add section, because if you want to add a password for this section, it's like we don't want the other groups to see what we have been doing, because we want it to be just between the group. So if the group would want to add a password to the section that they made, of course we can't open the section and we can't open the page. But the trick here is you have to remember the password, because there is no reset password. And if we cannot open that page because you have forgotten the password, it's gone. So there's no reset, and if we can't open that, we might as well make another section. Not a new notebook, but another section. So that's a trick there. If you forget your password, then we cannot open that. So it's still up on the line. We are still asking Microsoft that we could do the reset password, but as of the moment, we don't have yet. So if we want to put a password, we might want to have some second thoughts on that. All right, so moving forward, adding a page, we already have our first page under marking and grading, which is online forms. Under online forms, we could have a subpage. So I'm going to click add page. And maybe we could talk about Microsoft Forms as one of our platform in marking and grading. Click that and just click anywhere. And we could actually right click it and we could choose make subpage, right? So maybe the group could talk about, on this online forum, we could put a content here, whatever is it about online forums in general. Then one of the members could talk about Microsoft Forms. Now, if one of the members would want to talk about another platform, then that's no problem. Just click add page, and maybe one of you could talk about Google Forms. If you are comfortable with that, click anywhere. Then we right click it again, and we make it another subpage. So that is how we add a section and add a page under Microsoft OneNote for Windows 10. Let's have a short recap on how to create your first notebook. First, you're going to open your OneNote Windows 10 app. Click on Notebooks, then select Add Notebook. Last, name your notebook and click Create Notebook. In creating sections, you can create sections by clicking Add Section, and you can add multiple sections if needed. Now let's go to Sections. You can right-click on the Section tab and select Section Color, and you can pick your favorite color. We can also do a password protection for each section. Just don't forget your password. Now let's add pages to our sections. We can actually add pages for every section by clicking the button below, and we can have multiple pages per section. Now we're going to insert content pages. We're going to make a to-do list. We're going to insert hyperlinks, pictures, or videos, and we're going to use Immersive Reader. So let's go back to our OneNote, and we're going to add pages to our chapters or to our sections. So this is what we're going to do. You could click Add Pages and encode directly here, or we could go to Microsoft Edge, and I'm going to click that. And I have here a researched identifying and preventing plagiarism in online learning. We could actually copy paste everything and put this on that section. Or if you're not yet sure if you want to edit this or what, we could actually use Web Clipper. I'm going to click that, and we have some following choices. You could either clip the whole page with a URL, of course, or you could clip it by region, where if you click that, it will ask you to highlight or to drag which part of the site that you're going to capture. But if you don't like that, we could click back, and we could click article. The article right here is only the words, or the text will be here. We have some pictures, but what's nice about this one is that you can actually copy paste or edit the parts, or you can bookmark it, and it will be here at the side of your search bar. So if you're going to use article, which I'm going to use now, we are going to use this notebook, and I'm going to just preventing plagiarism. Then I'm going to clip it. As it is clipping, it will automatically clip going to the notebook that we made and to the section that we have chosen. So our clip has been successful. We will now go to our OneNote, and we will check it here. So it's here already. I'm just going to click anywhere, and as you can see, it's loading, and there it is. So what we have clipped from that site is actually here. So the group or whoever's in charge in this part can actually edit, and then we could go back to our search later and edit more. So that's how we're going to add some pages under our section. Next is, if you want to type in or encode your research, you can just actually click Add Page, and then you could type in whatever you want or what you have searched. Or you could actually click File, and you could insert the file that is in your laptop or in your device. Or if not, you could also add pictures. Maybe from your file, you could take a picture of yourself, or you can choose pictures from online. You could also insert online videos if we click that one. could type in the URL, or you could use OneNote Web Clipper to clip whatever videos that you want. So let's add a video on our OneNote. What we're going to do first is we're going to open our browser and head to youtube.com, and we're going to search for our favorite video, or we could copy the URL. Once we have pasted the URL in OneNote, it will automatically create a thumbnail just like this that you can click and play the video. To create a list of items here in our OneNote, what we're going to do is first we're going to type in, just like this, type in whatever you want to make a list for, highlight what you have typed in, then go to the upper right corner of your screen where you could see this. When you highlighted these words, you could either choose the words to do, and automatically these boxes will come out. If you choose questions with a question mark and you highlight recover and save docs, then the question mark would come out. Or if you want to have an important part here, then you could click the word important, then the star would come out beside the word that you have highlighted. Let us now insert hyperlinks to our OneNote notebook. As you can see on my screen, I already clipped a blog post. Let me just show that. I'm going to Microsoft Edge, and this is the blog post that I have clipped using OneNote Web Clipper. And let's go back to my OneNote. And for example, we want to make an introduction for this chapter, motivating students for online learning. So we're going to add a page, and we're just going to make a title for this page, let's say introduction. And we're going to make a body for this introduction. Just for example, we're going to put what is online learning and how do we keep students motivated. And let's say our introduction is done already. And let's put it read blog post here. We don't want to put the whole post here because the page might be quite long. So we want to make another page. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to click this, what we have clipped. I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to highlight and copy, and I'm going back to the introduction that we made, and I'm just going to paste that. Or maybe you want to change the font size or the font style, that's no problem. Right? That's it. Space. And I'm just going to add brackets on each end. First on the first part, then on the end part, and that's it. So we have a bracket now. It will be successful if it turns blue. Now, we'll try to see if it's successful if we click this one, and it should lead us to what we have clipped a while ago. So I'm going to click that, and voila. We have made a hyperlink in our OneNote. So we could just change the space. So when we open this page or this chapter, motivating students, we have our introduction, and you made a whole lot of introduction here, and underneath that or below that there is a blog post. So we could click that blog post, and it would lead us to the blog post that we have clipped a while ago. So that's how we're going to use hyperlinks in our OneNote notebook. So let's go to Immersive Reader, which is one of my favorite features in OneNote. So let's go back to the blog that we compiled or clipped a while ago. And I actually have another page here. I clipped this one. I copied this from a part of the blog post that we clipped. So we're going to click Immersive Reader, and we're just going to try and see on how we're using Immersive Reader in OneNote. So let's go on this side, Reading Preference, If we click that one, we can have a line of focus. So the one line of focus of concentration, or we can have 3 lines. We could use a word to translate. We could use immersive reader to translate each word or the whole document. We could use Dutch or French if you are using French or if you know French. How about we use Dutch? Because it's quite interesting. We could change it the whole document, or we could do it by word. Maybe by word. Then let's go to, we could syllabicate the words or not. Then for the parts of speech, we could actually highlight the nouns into purple, or you could change, depends on your color preference. And all verbs will be on this color, which is dark green, and all adjectives will be in light red, and adverbs will be on light orange. Show labels has been turned on, or we could turn it off if we want. If we turn that on, the words will have a label on top, which they would be labeled as could be adverbs, adjectives, or nouns. And we could go to text preference. We could make our font size bigger, depends on the reader or the preference of our audience, or smaller or bigger than the usual. But for this, I chose the normal size. So immersive reader is used for our challenge learners, for teachers who are teaching English, or basically for our students to have a focus and you want them to focus on the document itself. We could change the font size to Calibri, to Sitka, or Comic Sans. And also for the theme, we could also use different themes or colors. Immersive Reader is good for our students who have dyslexia or children with autism who really wants to learn speech or want them to improve their speech on, or for students who have difficulty in pronunciation. So let's try Comic Sans, and we could choose the voice. We could have female or male, and we could choose the voice speed. First, let's choose female, and let's have the normal voice speed. And let's start.
Educational psychology has identified 2 classifications of motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic.
All right. So we could lower the voice speed, still on female, and let's do it.
Extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation comes from a desire to learn something for self-fulfillment.
Now let's go to the male voice with the same voice speed.
Self-fulfillment, or to master a subject. Extrinsic motivation comes from a desire to succeed for the sake of accomplishing an outcome.
Let's go back again to the voice, and we could increase it, still on the male voice.
Outcome. Extrinsically motivated students tend to be grade-oriented, and intrinsically motivated students are those that generally take interest in their work.
All right, so that's the voice of our female and male voice. Now, let's go to our picture dictionary. If we click that, we could pronounce it.
Work.
And pronounce it under Dutch because it's a language that I chose.
Werk.
And we have a picture dictionary that would present work in pictures. Online is on red because it's an adjective. So this is the picture dictionary that shows work or online.
Online.
So that's how to pronounce online in Dutch.
Online.
And online in English. So that's how we use Immersive Reader in Microsoft OneNote. For your next step, and if you want to explore more about OneNote and to create your own notebook, you can head on to the link below for more resources. My special thanks to Line Learning and Development Solutions, Microsoft Philippines official training partner, and Microsoft. Thank you very much.